The CJ Howard Show. Now let's go to CJ Howard.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode number 14 of the CJ Howard Show. We're live from my home in Barberville, Kentucky. We are live on the Facebook. We're live on YouTube. And for the first time, we are live on the D&D Sports Network. We want you guys to enjoy yourselves, sit back, relax. We want you to leave your comments here tonight as we get set for what should be a really good show. Got a really great co-host, and I want to say right off the bat, I want to appreciate him because he's a little under the weather, but we're going to keep him as long as we can and see how far he can go. But we'll get back to him in just 1 second. I want to go ahead and give our guest out tonight. We're going to hear from Derek Cow, the Harlan Independent Green Dragon head coach here in about 10 minutes. Then we're going to hear from Mark Thompson. He is the head coach of the Belfry Pirates. Got a nice team over in the 15th region. A lot of people overlooking the Pirates, I think. So we'll talk to him. We'll talk with Freddie Maggard at 9 o'clock. See what's on his mind on all fronts, UK and elsewhere. And then we're going to hear from Courtney at 9:30. She's going to come on and we'll break down week 11 and get ready for week 12. With me from WYMT Sports, the main man, Mr. Milam. Brian, good to have you with us. I'm so sorry that you're feeling a little under the weather tonight, but hopefully you can feel better as we go along here.
Well, I hope so too. And for the money you're paying me to be on the show tonight, I've got 3 or 4 hours in me. So let's just go for it.
It should be a lot of fun. Brian, let's start off with a lot going on. And, you know, we used this talk a few minutes ago how week one of the playoffs, we got through hardly any games canceled because of COVID. I guess it has to be a brightening spot for everybody because to get through the first week and not have that many cancellations.
Yeah, I think when you look at COVID, it is not the way it was a year ago. If you look at, you go back exactly 1 year ago this week, there were 66 cancellations on November 6th, 2020. 66 games got canceled. We're going to stop it, try to get healthy for the playoff run. Well, this year, that's certainly not the case. People have been vaccinated. People have done whatever it is. And if they haven't been vaccinated, they've been ridiculously cautious, which is a good thing. They've done whatever it's taken to get to this level. And, you know, I'm all for those who, do you want to get a shot? Great. You don't want to get a shot? Fine. If you don't, just be smart. If you get the shot, again, be smart. Just don't be out being stupid. And I think that's why you see so many games from this past week that were played, and it felt like a real playoff system, unlike a year ago.
Yeah, no question about it. And we had a few decent games around the mountains and around the state. But overall, I think, you know, I've been really impressed with this season. Having the fans back, it's been more exciting this year, and I think it's been a long time.
Well, I think when you have something taken away to a degree, last year in a way was taken away because some teams, you know, I think Boyle County played 11 games total. Some teams played 5 or 6 and had to cancel their season. So you get something taken away and then you're able to bring it back at a full capacity or 95% capacity. Yeah, you're good to go. And it does bring the people out because we're all tired of about an 18-month stretch of just being sequestered in the house or not being able to put that many people in a gymnasium, in a football stadium, whatever.
I'm looking forward to basketball because I know we're about 3 weeks away from the start of official basketball first game on the 29th of November. Got a lot of panoramas and scrimmages going on that'll start actually this coming weekend. You know, we was talking about one scrimmage. I was talking with Coach Newsom a couple weeks ago when he mentioned about his panorama that he's going to be having there. He's got some heavy hitters going to be there too. As we go into this Friday night, Brian, we got some pretty interesting games. We got some games you're part of this part. We got FCA in Danville. We got the rematch between Lexington Catholic, Boyle County, Franklin County Central rematch. West Jessamine, where'd they come from Friday night? Wow, what a win they had to get to here and get an opportunity to play 11-0 Woodford County. Madison Southern and Bryan Station, that's going to be a slobber knocker. And just to, of course, Hazard and Pikeville, they're going to play each other in the rematch. And I don't think Pikeville's going to be looking, I think Pikeville's going to be fully aware of what's coming to them this time, unlike they were last year.
Yeah, last year they snuck up on Hazard snuck up on them a little bit. That won't happen this year.
No. I talked to my brother, and they're confident. The first game they played this year was 17-0, but both teams moved the ball on each other. It was just a game of who could put stick in the end zone, and Pikeville scored just enough points to win the ball game. So we'll see how that works it out. One other game that in the mountains that catches my eye is Rockcastle County going to Bale. I know Rock ain't played well the last 3 or 4 weeks, but when these two get together, this is a slobber knocker of a game because there's going to be some hard hitting going on here.
That is the one matchup traditionally, and I say traditionally, and let's just take it back 20 years, okay, 25 years. You look at what Tom Larkey built there at Rockcastle. When Dudley Hilton had it rolling, and then he turned it over to Tom Greer when Dudley went to Bourbon County. And then when Dudley comes back in 2001, over the next 10 years or so, that game, Bell and Rock, no matter where it was played, was one of the hardest hitting, most physical games in the state of Kentucky. And it was almost as if we're not gonna throw it. We're just going to run it at you and see who's better at the offensive and defensive line, the line of scrimmage. And they were both good defensively. It was a joy to go to those games.
This one's going to be at Bell County, so it should be an interesting game as well. Last night, you do everything you need to do to win the game, Brian. 99 offensive plays. You get over 500 total offense. You score 42 points. Something don't add up there and you lose. What happened?
Defense or lack thereof. I mean, it was almost as if the UK defense was allergic to something last night. They were allergic to the color orange, and they refused to tackle the color orange. They did not want to be around the color orange. The first play of the game, touchdown. And if you go back to the drive chart for Tennessee, the next time they got the ball, same play, shot out to the flat. I'd say if you can't stop it once, let's see it again. And then, sure enough, DeAndre Square got burned. The Peyton kid, I think, he burned him, and it was just, boy, here we go. And I told several people from Central and Eastern Kentucky last night before the game, I said, it's going to be a shootout. And I had 38-35 as the final score. I didn't pick a winner because I thought it was truly a pick-em game. But I had 38-35. And then I thought, golly, it didn't dawn on me because I'm on the field with a camera. It didn't dawn on me how many plays Kentucky was running. I knew Tennessee didn't have as many, but it never dawned on me until after the game. Kentucky had almost 100 plays. When Alabama played Tennessee 2 weeks ago, Alabama ran 92 plays and beat them. Ole Miss plays Tennessee a couple of weeks ago. Ole Miss ran 101 plays and beat them. UK gets 99 right in the middle of the two, and they lose because the defense could not stop anything. And the pace of the speed of the plays, which is amazing. And I really believe to a point it is, okay, CJ, you're the quarterback. We're calling play 3 and we're calling play 5. No matter what happens, we're going to complete the pass on play 3, get to the line. It's play 5. We're ready to go. I mean, and I just don't know how you compensate for that. I mean, you're trying to, if you're a defensive team, you make a tackle, hold the guy down for an extra second or two, so you can maybe get some substitutions on the field. I mean, it's the new brand of football Oregon started 20 years ago, and people have adapted it, and they've adapted that style to be something even faster.
You know, I was more amazed by the way Tennessee they ran what I think was 52 offensive plays. Kentucky's 101. And, you know, I'm thinking about Tennessee after they win last night. You know, they got Georgia at home next week. Wait to see how many plays Georgia runs. Was it Vandy? No, Kentucky plays Vandy next week, right?
No. Kentucky plays Vandy. Tennessee plays Georgia, South Alabama, and Vandy to finish off the season. Kentucky plays Vandy and then Louisville, New Mexico State, whatever. So it's an easier road for Kentucky, but Tennessee is going to give Georgia all they want only because they can do it so quickly. Yeah.
Well, after last night, I'm convinced. I think Tennessee can affect Georgia some in some places, but Georgia looked like the number one team. Yesterday in college football was like watching a car wreck. There was nothing going right for nobody. If you were in the top 10, you was not going to win. If you won, you got lucky.
Yeah.
Just look at the Alabama LSU game. I mean, you can't tell me that LSU loses 20-14 to Alabama. Well, Alabama should beat them 4 touchdowns or more.
But what did I say to you before we hit the show? Just when you think you know everything, you know nothing. And it can be at the high school level. It could be at the NFL level. You may have it all figured out. And then you realize, well, I don't know anything, because how does LSU hang around any team right now? Who would have thought, honestly, just a week or two ago, South Carolina would have pasted Florida and embarrassed Florida? Dan Mullen isn't it weird? Isn't it weird how quickly not just life turns around, but how a season will turn around so darn fast? It's amazing.
Oh yeah, ain't no question about that. It was crazy yesterday. We'll get talk some more about it a little bit later. With us right now is the head basketball coach of the Harlan Green Dragons, Coach Derek Cow. Coach, it's good to have you on the show.
It's good to be back on the show. I appreciate it.
No problem at all. Your team is the talk of the preseason. You got one of the. I know everybody's talking about North Laurel and Knox Central and everybody, but they really need to be talking about those Green Dragons, because, Coach, I think you got one. I think the best defensive teams in the region.
Well, we could be pretty good defensively, but we got a long way to go. We got some really tough teams in our region around Eastern Kentucky, so we're glad to be mentioned. But we're a long way from being the talk of the town.
I thought you got a lot of respect coming up in the WYMT Mountain Basketball Classic, because you got a number 2 seed. And I think that should mean a lot for your team, because that means you're highly recommended in the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we appreciate it, but those things don't mean much. We still got to get out there and perform, and the game is played between the lines and not in the seedings and rankings. So I think the guys know that, but we definitely appreciate being invited to the WYMT and being the second seed.
When you talk about WYMT Mountain Classic, the Harlan Green Dragons, Clay County helped establish it, and then Harlan kind of took over a little bit in the mid-'90s with Charles Thomas and those guys, and played some classic games. When you look at your ball club, Coach, just out of curiosity, for those of us who don't get to see you as much as we once did, what does your team look like compared to last year when you kind of got hot at the end of the year?
Well, we got our starters back. We got the same 5 back. We're competitive. We're not very big, so it's a lot of things we got to do to make up for our size. We have to rebound the ball well. But I enjoy this team. They play hard. They do anything I ask. But we're just not as big as those 90s teams that they had back in Harlem.
Yeah, those were they had some horses back in the day, and I know you played against some of those guys.
Yeah.
Coach, I know that everybody talks about Jordan a lot. You know, I think he's right there in the same breath with the Turner kid at Knox Central and Reed at North Laurel. Talk about how Jordan has really improved on his offensive skill game and what colleges are looking at him.
Well, you know, Jordan, he works every day on his shooting. He was already pretty athletic. He handled the ball well, but he shoots the ball, you know, very well. But as far as colleges goes, he has an offer from Tennessee Tech. He has some Division II offers and a couple NAIA offers. So that's still a process right now. But he's had a lot of interest.
Just curious, the conversations you have with him about how to pick a school, because so many kids get enamored with it's got to be a Division I. It's got to be a Division I when they have the type of talent your boy does. And it's not always the bigger is always better. You can go to a place like Tech, as you mentioned. You could go do what J.R. Van Hoos did, go to Marshall and have an outstanding career and still be at that D1 level, even if it's not in the SEC, the ACC, and whatnot, as we see on TV all the time.
Well, you know, what I always tell them, obviously, is that the kids that, you know, all the players at the NAIA schools, at the Division III and the Division II level, they can play. Only difference is they're not 6'8" and 6'9" most of the time. So it doesn't matter how high you go. It's the fit a lot of times. So when you're 6'2" and under, it's so many 6'2" and under kids that can actually play ball. That can probably play the Division I level. There's just so many of them. So we don't look at it as a Division I, a Division II, a Division III. It is opportunity and fit.
You got a really tough schedule, Coach. I know that it listed some of your games. It didn't list them all, but early on you got a really tough game with a Pikeville team that's going to be really improve at home. Then you will play Harlan County. Then you get to go play in the YMT, and then you've got some classics you're going to be playing in. You're going to be in Monticello for the Monticello Bank Classic. You're going to be playing over at South in the Legacy Nissan Double Dribble Classic. Playing in these games gives you an opportunity to really give your team the recognition they deserve. Playing this tough schedule, it's going to make you better in the end, right, Coach?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So every game we play is an opportunity to get better. I mean, so every time we go out there and play, and every day we go to practice, we look at it the same way. It's just another day, another opportunity to get better. So when you play against top competition, you know, if you want to beat those guys, you got to be able to beat them. So we got to go out there and compete against the top teams that's on our schedule and be ready to perform.
One question about your schedule, and this is just I love talking to coaches about why. It's the easiest question to ask, sometimes the toughest question to answer. But when you put your schedule together, how important is it to get outside of Eastern Kentucky to a degree? Because you can get spoiled, and we've seen a lot of teams get spoiled by playing the same style over and over and over. And then when you get that curveball later in the year against somebody that does something different, you don't adjust well. So getting a diverse opponent at least once every week and a half, 2 weeks has got to help.
Oh, definitely. You know, sometimes it's difficult for us. You know, we're a small school, small district, to get too far outside of our district. But, you know, having an opportunity to play against different styles and different officiating. We found out once you leave our region or leave our area, officiating is different. So we need to get outside of our region, play different teams, and learn different styles of coaches. So it's like you said, it's just we have a diverse state when it comes to basketball. So it does us some good to get outside of it.
You know, a lot of people, if they don't know, you coach boys and girls, and I asked you this last you this last time you was on the show. How difficult is it to coach boys and girls in the same season like you did? Because, and I thought you did it awfully well.
Well, I wasn't the smartest guy by making that decision. So I had a lot, I had a lot of good people. I had a lot of good people around me. I had a lot of support. So we done pretty good, but that wasn't all Coach Cal. There was a lot of people I had beside me helping me get through that process. But it wasn't easy. Trust me.
I remember when Doc Gray would coach the girls' teams, would help out with the boys on occasion. He'd do track and field. He'd go do something else, cross country. That does take a lot. I mean, that's a lot on your plate.
Well, there were 5-hour days for practice. I'd practice the girls from 3:30 to 5:30, do the boys from 5:30 to 7:30. Two different offenses, two different defenses, two different sets of parents. I mean, it was, but it was, yeah, that was, yeah, but I tell people all the time, I've seen my mom do a lot more in a day.
Sure. Good point.
So although it was tough, I felt like, I could do it.
Well, Coach, you've been doing it for a long time, and I've known you for quite a long time, and I love watching you do it, and I hope you do it for a long, long time. Your administration is really good over there for helping you get what you got to have, and I think that's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, this is a job it's tough to do without support. So support of our district, our leadership, our chain of command been great. I think this is my 11th year at Harlan on both sides of the ball. And I mean, it's been great for the 11 years. I've had, I think, 2 superintendents who both were great to me, 2 or 3 principals, both were great to me, a bunch of, great kids. So I've been blessed and lucky to work where I'm at.
Well, I know I was talking with your principal, Mr. Lawson, over there a couple Friday nights ago when we was over for Leslie County Harlan football, and he's a good man. Former Leslie County and worked in the Leslie County school system. Now he's been at Harlan. I think he said this is his 10th year at Harlan, 8th or 9th. But you got you a dandy there, Mr. Lawson, and you need to try to keep him for a long time.
Oh yes, I really appreciate having him there, man. I've heard a lot of horror stories from other coaches I talk to, and I've been thankful and blessed that I don't have those issues, those situations. We try to run a good program, and Mr. Lawson and Mr. Morton, our superintendent, make sure we do so. So, like I said, I'm much appreciative for our leadership at our school.
Well, Coach, you open up on December the 2nd. You will play Pikeville at home. That'll be a JV varsity game, looks like. Then you will, like I said, you'll play Harlan County on the road. Then you'll go into the YMT with your number 2 seed when you'll play the not KNOTT Central Patriots on their 5th team. But I think your team will be up for the challenge. Coach, it's always honored to talk to you. We'll get you back later in the year. We'll see how your team's doing, and we'll get an update from you. Is that okay?
Hey, I appreciate you guys all the time, man. Thanks a lot.
Take care, Coach.
All right.
No problem. We love having you on the show, and good luck to you in your opener. Coach Cal from Harlan there. Great guy. Brian, he's one of the coaches, he's one of the veterans there in that 13th region.
He's been around a while. And I don't get to obviously get to see mountain basketball the way I once did, but it is impressive to see. I certainly know who Jordan Acal is. I got to watch some highlights last year, and you say the name Acal, there's only one county you're talking about, and that's Harlan and Harlan County. And it's one of those names. It's one of those great names of mountain basketball and mountain football. When you say an Olinger, you think Hazard. When you think of a Couch or a Thornsbury or a Hall, you got to go Knott County. And you say a cow, that certainly means Harlan in Harlan County.
Well, you need to make sure you check out the Harlan Green Dragons. They're going to be in your area.
Yeah, I saw
January. They're going to be at the Dan Cummings Classic there playing Paris.
Yeah, I saw that they're going to play Paris.
So you'll have to go.
Paris is, a couple of years ago, Paris, and that'll be a good matchup for Harlan because Paris and Harlan are kind of in the same boat with the same style of play. But one thing, he's right. You got to get out of your region to get different officiating. And I always laugh at coaches and officials when, coaches are begging for a call. They get a lot of calls at home. They don't get them on the road. And, you're just trying to stick it to us, you this. And you get to Central Kentucky, and they let you play in Central Kentucky. They call it a lot tighter in the mountains. And you have to get out and get a different variety of officiating. No question about it.
I could spend a whole show on officiating.
I think you and about a billion fans across the country could.
Officiating. One thing we didn't get a chance to talk about in the UK game was the missed call last night. Ended up being more of a bigger play than I think we all recognized was the missed face mask on the third down.
I tell you what, I don't
what was
get
bad about it, Brian? It was so obvious.
Oh, it is impossible. It is physically impossible to run a long distance when your legs are going that way and your head is going that way. It is impossible. And, Levis is running and your neck gets turned. I saw it and I was 45 yards away. I know other camera people on the sidelines saw it. Everybody in the stadium saw it, but the people wearing stripes never see it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. No. And I thought Coach Stoops did the right thing trying to get be full there for his team. But I really didn't believe they'd give him a 15-yard penalty. I thought they might try to calm him down, but they wouldn't go have none of it. They'd rather give him the penalty and make the play look even worse, and then just made it look real bad after that.
Yeah, you have to come out to call. You first off, you need a timeout to figure out what play you're going to run. And then you get hit with the 15 yards, and he did go overboard just a little. So he probably deserved it. Excuse me while I cough. All right, back to you, CJ.
You're doing fine. We're going to hear from hopefully Coach Thompson here in just a few minutes. Coach, Mr. Brian Milam's a little under the weather. Having
just a little.
As long as he can stay, if he feels like he cannot go, then I'll be glad to go ahead and leave. His health is more important than being on the show. So,
well, I'm glad you said that.
We'll see how long he can be a trooper and see how he'll hang out with us. But we got other guests tonight. Like I said, we're going to have here from Coach Thompson from Belfry in a few minutes. Mr. Freddie Maggard at 9 o'clock. And then we're going to hear from Courtney at 9:30 as we get set to week 11 in the Merit and focus on week 12. I'm sorry.
I think you're frozen a little bit there, CJ. I'm not sure.
As I said, Brian's a little under the weather, so if you'll bear with us, he'll get through it. He's a trooper. He's a strong individual. And this is a head coach.
Yes, it's not
Nothing.
COVID.
Don't
It's a
start
head
a rumor.
cold. Let me
I
tell
don't
you
want
what.
people on the show watching going, Brian Milam he's fine. He's just having a little bit of head cold.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, it rained on the final
He
weekend of the high school football.
How many cough drops have you got in front of you right now?
I'm down to two. I'm down to two, and I've been chewing on these suckers like candy. I've had the honey and the lemon. I've had a little bit of everything. So we're trying to figure it out. Yeah, go ahead, Bubba.
Okay, we're having internet problems right now too. Yeah, well, the internet's starting to do this little dance.
Do you dance, CJ?
When it gets cold like this, the weather, internet don't work as strong as it did. But we'll get you back in here. Head go.
Guys, I'm here, but I don't know. I can't hear you. So
Let me try something. Got to do something first, so let me try this.
I can hear you now.
Check,
Can you hear me?
check, check. Can you hear me, Coach?
Yes, I can.
Coach, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right. Coach, can you hear me now?
I can. Yes.
Check one. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, Coach. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I know that we're having a little bit of internet problems, so just bear with us. We'll get through the best we can. Good evening, Coach. It's doing well. Of course, you
Glad to
know,
be here.
don't get an opportunity. I try to when I'm doing this show, I try to get all the coaches in the 15th region, boys and girls, if I can. And I like to meet new coaches. And this is the first time I've ever met you. And Coach, I've been looking at your resume, and you've had a very impressive resume.
Right.
And you've got a very impressive team. I feel like that I know a lot of people are paying attention to Johnson Central and Paintsville and Shelby Valley, Pikeville. They better watch out for the Pirates. Let's talk about your team a little bit. Talk to me about them.
Well, we returned a lot of our starters from last season. We did graduate 2 kids, um, but we still have of our returning guys scored points for us, and I feel like we're pretty deep this year. We have a lot of kids that can play minutes for us, and we're big. We rebound the ball well. We have really good guards. Um, Hopefully, we're better defensively this year than we were last year, and um, I like our chances. Keep like we have a shot.
One of the things about your team, Coach, I know everybody focused on your big boy. Uh, he's an impressive player, but I thought your guards that were really young did a really good job of getting him the ball. And when you've got a 6'11" guy that opportunities to get him the basketball bought into your inside outside combo, which is a really good combo.
Yeah, our guards have. Well, first off, the bowl's 7-3, and to have a 7-3 kid on your team is kind of unique as the mountains. And the guards last year had to really learn how to play with a kid that big, and we're used to throwing passes, bounce passes into the post, and now we're having to teach him to throw it up to where he can go get it, and he's the only guy that can get it. So. I think we've gotten better at that. I think we're more comfortable playing with a kid his size, and hopefully, I think you'll see better offense this year. Like I said, we were learning a last year. Really, last year was Bowles' first. He had never before, and we had never played with him, and I think our chemistry will
You
be
talk
better
about
this year. And
your
like I
guys'
said, our guards have
the
gotten better.
district,
Yes.
60th district. There's only
Yeah, in the 60th, it's us, Pike
get
Central, and
that out
Phelps,
of here.
and Pike Central's really got a solid, and we were fortunate to beat them in a district championship on their floor, and it was a good ball game. And I think if there probably would have been 4 or 5 more minutes in the game, they might have come back and beat us because they really made a run as right there at the end.
I was looking at your schedule. I know right off the bat, you're playing in one of the most prestigious tournaments in the entire state of Kentucky, the King of the Bluegrass. Feel full Louisville teams and Central teams. Excited you are to get your team in that tournament because that's one of the tournaments. If you get invited to that, then a lot of people they want to see your team.
We were fortunate enough to get that invite last year. Coach Gar called and asked if he would be interested, and and I told him, yeah, we definitely would be, and it's it's a prestigious invite, and it's loaded from top with really good basketball team. So we're excited to go up to.
Yeah, that after you play in that King of the Bluegrass, then you will play in the schoolboy at Pikeville Pikeville. That's a good tournament too, ain't it, Coach? After you play in that King of the Bluegrass.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then you will play. I'm making some adjustments here on the fly, Coach. Schoolboy at Pikeville. Bear with me. I'm trying. Yeah, Pikeville. That's a good tournament too. Trying to see if I can listen to you better on different devices.
It is. Yeah, it's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the 4th annual
I'm making some adjustments here on the floor.
One of the longest tournaments.
Bear with me. Okay. Let me see if I can listen to you better on different devices. My computer internet's decided it doesn't want to. Add me. Okay. Can you hear me now, Coach?
I can, yes.
Okay, good. Had to go to my backup phone. My internet on my computer has went down on me, so I'm gonna have to turn it off and turn it back on and let it reset itself. But Coach, talk about the schoolboy this year. You guys have got some nice teams in it coming down to play.
We do. Like I said, that's the 47th annual Mountain Schoolboy. One of the longest tournaments running in Eastern Kentucky. I think the AIT maybe is a little older, but we always have good teams from the 15th region, Godolphin County, Johnson Central, Shelby Valley, us that's in there. You got Corbin. We got a team out of Tennessee, Unicoi, Tennessee, which is I think a little south of Johnson City, and a few other teams. Got Newport coming from up in the ninth region. So yeah, we've got quite a few teams.
I know back a couple years ago, you guys had a girls tournament too. Do you still have that anymore?
We do not. No.
I know that we brought Lester Kelly brought a team over and played in. That was really exciting. Coach, I'm apologize right up front. I'm sorry that we're having these technical difficulties. I know this ain't with the way that I'm hoping it would, and to make up for it, I'd like to bring you back on another episode so we can really talk about your team because
Sure.
I know that I got to. This is the battle sometimes you have when you're having to fight with equipment. Sometimes it's going to run really well. Some nights it's not going to run well at all.
Well,
And it just happened to pick the one night that I couldn't get it to run very well. But, a couple of things I was going to let you go. How has it been so far, practice-wise, and as you're preparing to get ready to go play again? Because I know practices are different now than it was last year. Because last year you had a lot of restrictions. I probably don't have as many restrictions as you did last year, but you still got some stuff you still have to do.
Yeah, we are, like everybody else, we're living with COVID and trying to be safe and make good decisions. And usually you used to back in the few years ago, kids were sick. You would tell them to come in and sit and watch practice, and they didn't, but now they have to stay home, and you don't want them around your team and things like that. But this year has been better. Last year was really a strange year. A strange year for coaches, strange year for kids, and hopefully we're moving in the right direction and getting out of COVID. I guess it'll probably always be around to some extent, but as a school, hopefully we're getting back to some type of normalcy. And same thing with sports, and we're just trying to be as safe as we can.
I was noticing volleyball. They had the full gym. Everybody sitting on both sides, everything the way it used to be. And I thought volleyball, it made it, it sort of felt like, football attendance this year was probably the best I've ever seen. I don't know if I've ever seen a better attendance for football than I have in 4 or 5 years.
Right. We're, hopefully, like I said, we're getting back to some type of normal situation, and hopefully with basketball, our fans will come back out and feel safe in that environment, and we can get back to, Kentucky high school basketball. That's what we're hoping to be, and hoping to see this season.
Yeah, it's. I know you playing that the 15th region over there, and I'm just looking at your schedule, and you got a tough one. You got, like I said, you're playing the King of the Bluegrass early in the year. You're playing your own classic, the Mountain School Boy. Then you will, I guess, I don't know where you're playing. Lawrence County in something it's called. It's got multiple locations. So what is that?
It's the 2A tournament.
Okay, the 2. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. We play Lawrence in the 2A, and that's I guess the first week of January. It's I guess maybe 3 or 4 years now we've had that going. So.
Yeah, I know they didn't have the 2A last year, right? Because of COVID.
No, we did not. No. Right.
Now it's back this year. I forget about the 2A tournament sometimes because when you look on the KHSAA, look at the games, they don't list it as a 2A tournament. It just has multiple locations because when you see the Class A tournament, it has all A beside it. So that was what was a little confusing. Yeah. One other question, I'm going to let you go. I know you get this all the time, and you coach at a school where you're part of a legendary figure. And Coach Haywood is, I've known Coach Haywood a long time. I want to get him on this show because I would love to talk to him about his book. And I understand, I think he's ready to write a second book, is what I'm hearing. But tell me how how it is you how it is to have such a legendary figure in your school system that's done so much for your school.
Well, Coach Haywood is a absolutely fantastic guy. And being a coach and being in a building with someone who's had so much success and is kind of at the pinnacle of his sport in the state of Kentucky. I pick his brain quite often about situations and just dealing with high school students in general, or players and athletes. As a coach, you're always going to have situations where you're going to have questions that arise. How would I deal with this situation? Or, and being able to sit down with him in his office and talk to him and see what he would do and get his advice on certain situations has been really, really beneficial. He's a big supporter of our program, and we're a big supporter of his program, and we just want to see Belfry have success.
Yeah, as I was looking at your you've been coaching for quite a while, Coach, and you've had some good success there at Belfry. You've had some you got I think a team that everybody needs to keep their eye on, because I think you guys can really make some noise in that 15th region. The one thing too that I noticed on your schedule, you don't shy away from any of the big boys. You play them all. You play in Paintsville, you play in Pikeville, you play in Johnson
Central.
Central.
Right. We never have. And I'll be honest with you. Previous years, since my tenure there, there's been years where we didn't shy away, and maybe we should have. We weren't real good, but now I think the program's kind of going in the direction that we want it to go, and we have success, and you can only get better by playing the best. So that's what we wanted to do.
Well, Coach, like I said, this is. I know the interview didn't go as well as it could have. Where I will bring you back. Could you come back and maybe I'll try to set it up, but if November 21st will be good for you, I'd like to have you back on the show, and we'll redo this interview again, and it's where I can really get your talk about your team and do some more digging into it, and I would appreciate something from you if you could. Could you pass word to Coach Haywood that I would love to have him on the show?
I will. Yes.
And would you like to come back and do another interview with me on the 21st of November?
Sure, we would. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will get with you like I did for this past little bit to chat with you. We'll do the same stuff. But Coach, it's been an honor to have you on the show. I'm tickled to death, and I can't wait to watch your team play this year. I think you got a scrappy bunch, and I think you guys are going to make a lot of noise in the 15th region. And as I told Coach Newsom from Betsy Lane last week, if you want some really good basketball, go watch the 15th region this year, especially boys. I said it's going to be off the charts. I said it's going to be, you got 7-8 teams over there that can win it on a given night, and it's going to be really fun to watch. So, Coach, I want to thank you so much. I'll be getting back up with you for get that date, and we'll get you back on the show. And but good luck to you then, and you guys continue to be safe. And good luck to your Pirates as they march on through football. They got Lawrence County this week, and good luck to your school system, and good luck to you, Coach.
Appreciate it, CJ. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much, Coach. Coach Mark Thompson of the Belfry Pirates, as he's graciously we're going to bring him back on the 21st. I'm going to put that in my notes because want to make sure that we have a good interview where everybody can watch it clearly. Want to thank everybody that's still watching. We having some problems we had a couple weeks ago. Internet went down on me. My computer went down on me. We're trying to fix it. Hopefully, I can get back on for the fight a little bit. Brian, unfortunately, we did not get him back. Brian is when the internet went down, but he wasn't feeling too well. So, Brian, please take care of yourself. I want you to get over, make sure you feel better. We'll get you back on here on the show later in the season. supposed to have Freddie Maggard just a little bit. We'll hopefully have him, and then we're going to talk with Camille. We're going to talk with Courtney at 9:30. It's going to be interesting to see what she's on her mind, but it should be a really good rest of the show. So hang in there. We'll have us a really good time. I don't know why my camera is not showing me. It's showing. It does not show a picture of me. So there we go. Now I'm back. You couldn't see a picture of me, but you could hear me. But as I said, we're going to hopefully hear from Coach Mr. Freddie Maggard in just a few minutes, and then we're going to hopefully hear from Courtney at 9:30. But I do apologize again. We're having technical difficulties. My computers decided it wanted to do what it done the other night. The internet did the same thing. I'm gonna have to get that. I'm gonna have to get that investigated because it's done it 2 times in the past 4 weeks. So we'll try to work on that as well. It's I think everybody's out there watching. Still got some watchers out there. Please, guys, leave me comments. I know that I can't put them on the board. We can't take any phone calls tonight, but hopefully we'll get all this worked out. Sometimes you have to have a backup plan, and sometimes you have to do the best you can. And this is what happens when you have live TV. Tonight we don't our first show on the D&D Sports Network. I really apologize to them because I was hoping we would have a flawless show. But sometimes when you're doing live TV or live shows like this, you will have technical difficulties happen for this reason. Right now, I'm trying to get my computer to shut down, but for some reason, it's not wanting to shut down. So he done this last week, and then all the kinks got worked out, and it worked pretty good for a long period of time. Hopefully, we'll hear from Freddie Maggard any time now, and then we're going to hear from Courtney at 9:30 as we get set for week 11 and getting into week number 10. Or I'm sorry, after week 11 and get into week 12 because we've got some good matchups coming up. And talk about the scoreboard from last week, too, as well. Want to talk a little basketball, UK basketball. They got the win the other night. It wasn't the prettiest thing in the world. They did get the win, 80-71. Miles come ready to play. They were shooting it. They were shooting it all over the gym. They did do very well offensively. Had some made some big plays in the game. The Kentucky brought it on late in the game. They pull away 80-71. They're getting set though to get ready for competition level. It's going to really jump to the high forefront as they get set to play the Duke Blue Devils at 9:00 on Tuesday night in the Champions Classic. It says 9:00, but it's going to be 9:30. The first official start of the basketball season, actually, because earlier in the day, you're going to be seeing South Carolina, number 1 in the nation, taking on number 5, North Carolina State. And then the doubleheader, Michigan State, Kansas, and then Kentucky and Duke in the nightcap. Also, the second set of rankings for the college football playoffs will be out. As me and Brian was talking about earlier, it was a wild day yesterday. Everybody, if you was in the top 10, you was not going to hang around very long. And that's what happened. Today in the NFL was a wild day. If you look at some of the scores, Cowboys got beat. Raiders got beat. Saints got beat. Packers got beat. I mean, if you were a winning team, it wasn't your day. So we'll see how that goes from there down the road. Hopefully we'll hear from Freddie. Hopefully we'll get him on here in just a few minutes. I'm checking to make sure that he's not in the green room. As I said, my computer is still spinning. We'll hopefully find out its problem. And I know it's an internet problem. I know because and also if you're changing from Windows 11, also on your computer, you got to make sure all the bugs are worked out, all your up to dates are on there too. Again, this is CJ Iron Show. Glad you can be with us tonight. We've already heard from Coach Derek Cal. We heard slightly from Coach Mark Thompson of the Belfry Pirates. But I want to hear from him and have a good interview with him. So we're going to bring him back later, not next week, but week after on the 21st. I can tell you right now that my co-host for next week is going to be John Bentley. I can go ahead and tell you that. And I also can tell you one of my guests next week is going to be Shannon Hoskins, Perry Central head basketball coach. But as far as that, not heading, I'll have some others down the road. I'll talk more about that at the end of the show as we get there. I'm hoping Freddie can still come on. If not, hopefully we'll get Courtney. But again, Kentucky last Friday night of final exhibition game of the season, 80-71 was the final. Of course, they'll play Duke is coming in the Champions Classic second game at about 9:15, 9:30. Because 9 o'clock, I think they're going to have the top 25 football playoff rankings. So they'll have the first game, the playoff rankings, and then the Kentucky game. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what kind of team Duke has and what kind of team all these teams have coming down the stretch as we go. Is it? I'm going to help Freddie out here. He's asking me, is it working? I'll say, no, I don't see you. So we'll try to get him here. He just needs to click on the, there we go. It's adding to the stream. Now joining us is Mr. Freddie Maggard, the voice of everything. If I want to know a lot what's going on in college and high school sports, I want to bring this man on. He's a legendary figure in UK sports. Freddie, it's good to have you on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Oh, anytime. I love having you on the show. It's a lot going on. Me and Brian, we broke it down a little bit last night, but we'll hear from you. Explain to me how we have 102 plays, over 500 yards. We score 42 points, but we don't win. So something don't add up there.
Yeah, the offense did enough to win. Like you said, scoring 42 points, 612 yards, got the run game going, went for 225. Will Levis had the game of his career, 370-something yards passing, 47 rushing, had a catch for 15 yards. Kentucky did everything offensively that it wanted to do and needed to do other than the last drive. But the defense, this is just a bad matchup for Kentucky. Kentucky's a defense that doesn't play well in space, and Tennessee had those wide alignments. The receivers were lined up outside the numbers. Went extremely fast. It's just a tough matchup, and Kentucky didn't win the one-on-one battles at the top of routes. You didn't compete for routes and missed a lot of tackles. And when you do that, you're going to lose to an up-tempo team like Tennessee.
I watched Tennessee play last night, and I'm just sitting there thinking, could I, in 2 weeks, could they beat a Georgia? Can they play with a Georgia? Would this tempo really bother a Georgia?
It could bother Georgia, and I've not studied that matchup enough to really give you an analysis on that. But yeah, it could bother Georgia. It's an offense that's unique, and it's hard to simulate in practice. And it's an offense that Kentucky will see once this season, maybe twice if Louisville goes up tempo. And Kentucky, personnel-wise, you have to realize Kentucky's lost 2 sets of cornerbacks to the NFL. 3 in 2018, 2 in this last year. Yeah, Quentin Bohanna, Phil Hoskins go to the NFL, replacing the 5 defensive players that went to the NFL. I thought was the biggest concern of the season. And then you couple that with an injuries to Marquand McCall, Octavius Oxendine, Jordan Wright, your down personnel. And then add to that, you had probably your 2 starting corners transfer out of the program. Jabari Brown is at Purdue starting. MJ Devonshire is at Pitt. So all of a sudden you're razor thin at corner, and it's just hard to operate in space. And Tennessee did an excellent job. You have to credit Josh Heupel and what he did, and it was a good game plan, and they executed it to perfection. Hendon Hooker is also the best quarterback that Kentucky will play this year.
Yeah, there's no question about that. We watched Hooker last night. We watched him throw the ball. He's a freshman, is that right? So
no, he's a transfer from Virginia Tech, so he's probably a
okay.
senior.
I'm sorry. So senior, okay.
Yeah,
but he really improved his passing game. But I think what Coach Heupel was hoping eventually he'll be able to get a quarterback that can do the things that he done this season and have him a 4-year player of that caliber. But because Coach Heupel had those type of kids when he was at USC.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to find, but yes. I mean, if Joe Milton's the quarterback last night, Kentucky wins by 3 scores. I mean, it's simple as that. Hendon Hooker is just dynamic, and Kentucky was getting beaten one-on-one. I mean, it's really as simple as that. And he missed a lot of tackles, way too many tackles. So yeah, it was a bad outing by the defense, and that happens. But if I was to tell you that one unit on Kentucky's team is ranked 11th in the SEC and the other is 6th, you would most likely think that the Kentucky defense, by the way the fans are reacting, is 11th and the offense is 6th. Well, that's the opposite. Kentucky is 6th in total defense. The offense is 11th in the conference. So that defense has done a lot of right this season, but bad matchups against Mississippi State and bad matchups against Tennessee was too much for it. And a lot of people are saying, well, they've not beaten anybody. Well, I mean, there's a counter to LSU and Florida and South Carolina being down. I mean, we could go back and have the Missouri team that won 2 SEC East in a row on the same year that we had the Tebow Florida years, on the same year we had Joe Burrow years, and then the Steve Spurrier good team South Carolina. We could do that right now and be, 2-7? So
yeah. But
it's wherever you look at it.
You go back to last night, you look over the whole conference. I thought last night was not the best moment for the conference because you had LSU taking Auburn to the brink of they about wanted to give it to Auburn, about wanted to give it to LSU. And then South Carolina with a second string quarterback absolutely wears out Florida.
Yeah,
I mean,
it just goes to show you in the SEC, you're going to play against future pros on any given night, any given day. The difference in Alabama playing LSU and LSU playing Alabama close, and Cincinnati playing Tulsa close, is LSU has a ton of pros on that roster.
Uh-huh.
Tulsa does not. You have to face that week in and week out in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah,
and I'm happy for South Carolina.
Yeah, I am too. That was a great win for them.
There's pros on that depth chart, so there's not an easy Saturday in the SEC. I mean, Kentucky's got Vanderbilt Saturday, 2-7 on the year. ETSU beat them in the opener and have struggled, but they're still good players. I mean, they're playing in the Southeastern Conference. They were given a scholarship for a reason. So you can't take a Saturday off. And being 6-3 right now, it's not ideal. But for a rebuild year, things could be a whole lot worse in Lexington.
Yesterday I'm looking at the top 10. If I'm a top 10 team yesterday, for the exception of Georgia, I probably felt like that I need to go hide under my covers in my bed and not come back out until the next week because there was nothing going right for top 10 teams yesterday.
Yeah, there's parity everywhere. I mean, once you get deep into league play, that happens all over the country. I mean, we focus on the SEC here, but the same thing's happening all across the country. I mean, you could see Wake Forest losing to North Carolina a mile away. I mean, that was an easy pick for me. Oregon struggled. Alabama struggled. Michigan State goes down to Purdue. You say, well, it's Purdue. Well, Purdue has a top 10 draft pick that's a defensive end. Purdue has a unique system that Jeff Brown's run. So college football is competitive. There's a lot of parity, and football happens. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and then you just got to go back to work and see what you can do the next week.
Okay, now Kentucky's best scenario is to finish up with 3 wins, 2 of the
Yeah.
3 road games. You got at Vanderbilt, New Mexico State on Senior Day, and then, of course, the Louisville game.
Yeah.
That'll get you 9 wins. That's going to get you a pretty good bowl. If we was looking down the road, where would we possibly wind up now, considering where we would have been if we could have got 10, 11 wins?
I always thought 10, 11 wins was a stretch and beyond what this team, what I thought about the team. And I'm not saying I thought anything bad. I thought, 9-3, 8-4 would be a really good season. So bowl projections are a little dicey right now because there's going to be teams lose, teams win, and you never know. But Kentucky, at a worst minimum, 8-4, is going to play in a good bowl game. If 9-3 would be nice, 8-4, I'm still going to go to a good bowl game and get that extra 30 days of practice, continue that bowl streak, and continue climbing the ladder. That's all you can do. Look today, the Jaguars beat the Bills.
Well,
football's
you look at
not
today.
played on paper.
No, you look at today. There was 7 NFL teams that had a winning record. All of them lost. The Cowboys, the Bills, the Bengals, the Saints, the Packers, the Raiders. I mean, it was. If you were a winning team, or this was not. I mean, this has not been the weekend. If you've been the underdog this weekend in NFL or college or high school, this was your weekend.
Well,
because it was meant for you.
We live in an "I told you so" society. So, 2 weeks ago, the Bengals people were saying, "I told you so," that we should have drafted the receiver, not the offensive lineman. 2 really bad performances back to back, and now the "I told you so" crew that said you should have drafted an offensive lineman instead of receiver, they have a valid point. So it's give and take, man. It really is. And anytime you involve a sport with an oblong ball and you're playing with 18 to 22-year-olds, and good luck predicting that, unless you're Georgia.
Yeah.
And there's only one
Georgia.
of them.
Yeah, Georgia's got the only team out there that I think nobody can play with. That's a legitimate favorite to win it.
Well, I think they're vulnerable. I'm not sold that Georgia can. When Georgia faces a really good defense, that's one thing that I have to see, because Stetson Bennett is a very good game manager, but I'm gonna have to see him go against a quality defense, and they've not played against an upper echelon defense yet. Now defensively, Georgia is dynamic. What could beat that team? I don't know. Maybe it's the fastball offense at Tennessee. Something unique, or an option team, which they won't face, but. I have to see Georgia score points on a really high level defense before, I crown them before the end of the season.
Yeah. I have a comment here from a good friend of mine, Nolan Wheeler. Freddie, he was mentioning when you played back in your days at Cumberland High School in 1985 and 1986, how successful baseball, basketball, football was. No school in state had 3 more successful programs than Cumberland had in that one season, and that come from my good buddy Noah. And we talked about that last year, how programs sometimes can have all 3, but rarely will you see that. I know. You have any thoughts on the high school playoffs so far? It's I know we're getting the district championship week coming up. Got some pretty decent games coming up.
Yeah, about those Cumberland teams. Yeah, we were good in everything, and a lot of people played all 3 sports or 2 sports. It's a shame. It's a crying shame that there's no football, excuse me, in the Tri-Cities played anymore. It's just, Cumberland High School is no longer in such a tradition athletic program that Cumberland had. And I'm very proud of that. Actually, we had 7 or 8 guys come in from all over the country this weekend for a little reunion. So,
that's awesome.
It's sad to see the state of what's going on as far as sports in the Tri-Cities, especially football. But playoff wise, 1A Pike was going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
2A, LCA, and Beechwood are on path. But I think Middlesboro could give one of those two a game, and I'd love to see Middlesboro upset one of those two. 3A is absolutely wide open. I mean, there's no favorite there. 4A, Bull County, Corbin. But I will say this: I had a Johnson Central game a couple weeks ago. They're coming on strong. 5A, I mean, you had Bull County beat Douglas a couple weeks ago. I mean,
pretty
badly.
bad.
So
Yeah.
5A. I live in Versailles, which is Woodford County, and Woodford County right now is the number one RPI team in the state in 5A and undefeated. They're rolling pretty good. And then
They got
6A,
West Jessamine this Friday.
Yeah, and they beat them really badly in the regular season. So they're going to be tough out. And then 6A, you got Louisville Male that's really, really good.
Well, Freddie, it's always I love it when I can get you on the show. And I know you'll come back anytime I need you. You have any final thoughts you'd like to say before I let you go? I know you're a busy man, and I'm just it's an honor for me to have you take time to be a part of this.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm free for any questions that you or anybody else might have. I don't know the format here.
Love having you on the show. I like to get. Yeah, we're having a lot of technical difficulties tonight, so we might. I don't know if you would like to do this one time. I've had Brian do it a couple times. I'd like to have you come on, be a co-host with me, and we can spend a couple hours together, and we'll get you all kinds of different questions and stuff from people. How would you like that?
Yeah, we can maybe schedule that in the future. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, I would love that. That would be an honor of mine. I know you're busy right now doing a lot of high school football. I know you're going to do some high school basketball like you did last year. And I know basketball's coming up. I know everybody's looking forward to watching Reed Shepherd there at North again and everything. Yeah. So we got a lot going on. But Freddie, thank you so much for being here tonight. And I'll holler at you pretty soon.
Okay, thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you, Freddie. Freddie Maggard,
buddy. Former
UK quarterback, Cumberland superstar, legendary superstar at Cumberland. He's right. I miss Cumberland High School. I love going there. I meant to ask him. I'll have to ask him another time. Is the school still there in the gymnasium and football fields? I was wondering if the facilities were still there. I know we used to play them in baseball when they had a good program. And that'd be a lot of fun. But we'll thank Freddie for being there. We'll have Freddie's co-host one time during the season. That'd be a lot of fun to bring him on here and let you guys ask him some questions and stuff like that. It'll be a lot of fun. Where technical difficulties have continued, I don't know what's happened, but luckily my phone has kept me alive. So I want to thank that for good. Unfortunately, we could not take any phone calls tonight. Like I said, I'm going to have to get the kinks worked out of this. I'm going to have to get the internet working better. I know it's a common connection between it. So we'll have to work on that as well. I know earlier we had that problem. We'll post that Courtney on here in just a little bit. I think it's going to be Courtney. I think she said she's the one joining us. Camille is probably still on cloud 9 after her Tennessee Volunteers last night beating Kentucky. So we'll see how that goes. Brian Milam is with me to start the show. Brian has had a head cold, and unfortunately he could not finish. So Brian, if you're out there, you're listening, watching, man, I hope you feel better. I'll be praying for you. Hope you feel better. We'll hopefully get Brian back on another show when he's feeling a lot better. It takes a strong man to try to do the show, and he tried his best. And of course, we had internet problems there for a little bit, and I'll write him a message tomorrow, and we'll thank him for trying, and we'll try to get him on the show down the road better when he's feeling a lot better. Nolan left that comment there a moment ago. It was good. It was good to have Coach Thompson on here from Belfry. I've had some other comments. Hello, CJ. Hello. Guys, leave me some comments. I want to hear from you. I can't talk to you on the phone, but I can hear. You can leave me a comment. I would love to hear what you got on your mind. Leave some comments here as we go. We're waiting for Courtney or John or Camille, whoever. I think it's going to be Courtney. It's supposed to be Courtney, but we'll see how that goes as well. As we get ready to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and take let my computer. I don't. It's not wanting to shut down, so we'll have to find out why that's happening. You're on the CJ Harris Show. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. We're live here tonight. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. I know it's a little bit different when I have to go to my phone. That's why I will start. I have to keep it beside me in case we do have this problem happen again. I can go ahead and get it all worked out. So it's a lot to do this as well. It was their first night on the D&D. I do apologize to them. I know it probably looks bad that we didn't. We've had some pretty good followers now. A couple people liking the show. We've had a couple got some watching now. So continue watching. The guys wanted you to share the show tonight. I want from now for a little bit of a point. I want you guys to start sharing the show a lot more. I need more eyes out there, more people watching. So we're going to see where we can go from there. Should be a lot of fun. But we'll hopefully hear from Courtney in just a few minutes. Let me go over the schedule for this week in football while we're waiting on her, and we'll go over it for real. The games this week are the games I'm picking, but there's more games in here that I don't have that are being played, but these are the games I'm going to be picking on my picks for Wednesday night. And that is going to be Ballard playing Trinity, Dixie Heights at Ryle, Henderson County at Davies County, North Hardin at Central Hardin, Paul Lawrence Dunbar at Tate's Creek. It'll be Madison Central at Brown Station, West Jessamine at Wolford County, Connor at Covington Catholic, Scott County at Frederick Douglass, Central at Franklin County, Lexington Catholic at Boyle County, Taylor County at Glasgow, Mason County at Fleming County, Murray at Mayfield. Murray beat Mayfield early in the year. Danville at LCA, Frankfort at Kentucky Country Day, and New Nicholas County at Bishop Brosser. Our mountain teams, you got Hazard traveling to Pikeville. You got Lincoln County traveling to Corbin, Pulaski County traveling to Southwestern, Letcher Central, the Cougars traveling to the Golden Eagles of Johnson Central, Rockcastle County at Bell, Breathitt County at Middlesboro, and Lawrence County at Belfry. You got Paintsville at Raceland, Pineville at Williamsburg, and Martin County at West Carter. So those are the games for this week. Some of the scores that these are the games I picked from the other night, but here's some scores from the other night. Was Hazard 24, Sayre 21, Middlesboro 46, Leslie County nothing, Letcher Central 47, Perry Central 13. It was Corbin 40, Wayne County 8, Southwestern 41, Whitley County 6, Pikeville 49, Phelps nothing, Johnson Central 56, Clay County 7, Bell County 45, Estill County 13, Pulaski County 40, North Laurel 14, Lawrence County 47, Monongah County 6. And I think I saw today where McGoffin County is going to be having a new football coach. I think he resigned today. I saw Paintsville at Betsy Lane. Paintsville over Betsy Lane, 64-22. There was Pineville 29, Harlan 26, Breathitt County 47, Morgan County 6, Danville 21, Somerset 7. It was Martin County 53, outlasting Shelby Valley 41. It was Mason County 45, Powell County 12. Belfry 57, Pike Central nothing. Rockcastle County 36, Garrett County 30, and Lincoln County 49, Knox Central 22. In the statewide games, it was Raceland 57, Fairview nothing. LCA 68, Washington County 7. Frederick Douglass 57, Montgomery County 7. West Jessamine 51, Collins 39. It was West Carter 51, Bass County 25, Fleming County 49, Lewis County 8, Exeter Catholic 33, Bourbon County 19, Scott County 21, Great Cross 19. Woodford County 36, Madison Southern 7. Bryan Station 45, George Rogers Clark nothing. Dixie Heights 38, Simon Kenton 7. Henderson County 31, Apollo 26. Madison Central 42, Oldham County 9. Paul Oaks Dunbar 21, Lafayette 19. Texas Creek 33, Henry Clay 15. Ashland 52, Russell 42, and Covington Catholic 38, and Highlands 8. So those are some of the scores from last week. Now, of course, as I told you, the RPIs did not change because the regular season's over. The RPIs will go into effect not this coming week, but the week after. That's when you'll see the RPIs play dividends in the in there. So, like for instance, say Pikeville was to win Friday night. Well, Pikeville would be at home and they would host. Let's see. There'll be Williamsburg or Paintsville. Paintsville would probably be the opponent. So Paintsville and Rice, we could probably see a Paintsville-Pikeville rematch. Say Hazard upset Pikeville again. Then Hazard would host Williamsburg because they have higher RPI than Williamsburg does. So that could happen. Or a trip to Bishop Brossard, that could also happen too. So RPIs is this little idea of what you're looking at. Like the top 2 RPIs are playing each other this coming Friday night. Boyle County, Lexington Catholic in 4A. And the next 2, Corbin and Johnson Central, if they can get by their games, they're eventually going to play each other next week, or week after next, or the state semifinals. And then on and on. So this is how it works out. And crazy, this is how it is. Trinity is not in the top 10 of the RPIs. And so after this game right here, they play Friday night against Ballard. The rest of their games will be road contest. So that's crazy. Them not being, but we've seen teams, we have seen 4 seeds and all kinds of other seeds win when we didn't think they could. So anything can happen in high school sports. It's the CJ Howard Show with you on this Sunday night. We'll never try to let you down unless we just can't find no way on the air at all. We had to go get the cell phone out tonight as we had to come on a little bit different. Brian Milam was with me earlier. We had some internet problems. Couldn't keep him on the air. Plus, he's not been feeling too well. He has a head cold. So I did not. I think the best suggestion he just go ahead and rest. As I said, we'll be praying for him. Hope he feels better. We'll try to bring Brian back another night when he's feeling a lot better. I'll write him a message and I'll check on him, make sure he's feeling better and stuff like that. Could hear from Courtney anytime or somebody from WYMT. If for some reason we don't, we might end the show a little bit early tonight, just due to the fact because I don't have a whole lot of info. Because I thought me and my co-host would talk about some other items. Actually, we can go. Let's go over the field for the WYMTV Mountain Basketball Classic real quick. Let me give you those matchups. The tournament's on December the 6th. Going to be played at the Morton Combs Athletic Complex at Knox County Central High School. First night of game, 6 o'clock girls game. Number 5 seed Belfry versus number 4 seed Knox County Central. And the nightcap, the late game has number 3 Shelby Valley versus number 6 Leslie County. Then the boys will open up the tournament at 6 o'clock on Tuesday night. The number 8 seed Shelby Valley Wildcats take on the number 1 seed the Knox Central Panthers. And the nightcap, it'll be the number 4 seed the Breathitt County Bobcats taking on the number 5 seed the Johnson Central Golden Eagles. Wednesday night, 6 o'clock game 1, featuring the number 7 seed the Knox Central Panthers. They're going to play the number 2 seed the Harlan Green Dragons at 6 o'clock, and then somewhere around 8:15 the nightcap, it'll be the number 3 seed the Paintsville Tigers, the battling the Commodores of Perry Central. And they are the number 6 seed. Then Thursday night, we'll have 3 games, a consolation game from the losers on Monday night, the 2 semifinal girls games on Thursday night. Friday night, 3 games too. The 5 o'clock game will be the third place game in the girls tournament. Then the boys semifinals. And then on Saturday we have 5 games, 2 consolation games, a boys third place game, and the 2 championships. We're also going to talk with Courtney about this after we get started with some other details. And she is joining me right now. Miss Courtney, good evening, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm okay. It's been a rough night. I've had chaos. My computer went down on me and all kinds of stuff. So,
well, that's no good.
We did find a way to get back on the air and finish the show. So
there we go.
Glad you could be with us this week. I know Camille is still partying. She's running through the streets of Hazard with her bottle of water and going, go orange. She
told our boss she was going to wear orange on air, and I've never seen a man more scared. Thank God she was kidding. Thank God.
Neil would have been like, I don't know if that'll work.
Exactly.
I think that's gonna work. Yeah, I would like to see that though. That would have been interesting. That would have really brought some fireworks out there. Oh, yeah. I mean, gotta give Jesse credit though. When you don't come ready to play, when you don't do the thing, I mean, you've done everything you could to win the game. You just don't play any defense. That's what happened to you.
It was painful. I was there. It was painful to watch. And I never, until the bitter end, and I think this is just the Kentucky fan in my soul, until the bitter end, I was like, you know what, we might be able to pull it off. We might be able to pull it off. Only when it was like 30 seconds left, I was like, okay, we're going to lose.
I asked Brian, he said it would have made a huge difference in everything if they'd have called the face mask.
Yes.
He said it would have.
I think the
field position would have. He said we would have. The face mask camping at the 41. It would have been a 15-yard penalty. We would have had the ball inside the 20.
Mm-hmm.
Then Brian said we would have probably changed our whole philosophy of if we couldn't get in the end zone to score a touchdown, at least we had the field goal in our pocket.
Yes.
So, but then the no call.
I don't know what I could have done if that game had gone to overtime, though.
Oh, yeah. People were already having problems in regulation.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if it was overtime, it was going to be total chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Even Freddie said it when we spoke to him just a moment ago. You know, everybody was on pins and needles the whole night.
Yep.
Not just the people watching the game, but the media and maybe Kentucky's defense was on pins and needles because they apparently did not come to play. And,
no.
I mean, it was a shame because I think Kentucky, to be all honest, they're 6-3, but they're really, I feel like they easily could be 9-1, 8-1. You know, I mean,
yes.
I mean, it's just so obvious.
It easily the last 3. Well, not Georgia. Georgia, I'll take it. I have been saying, I don't know, we might be able to take Georgia down in Lexington next year. Yeah. But these last 2, you shouldn't lose when you're on the momentum that you are.
Well, yeah, I asked Freddie this, and Freddie said he hadn't really looked down the road, but I'll ask you, can Tennessee beat Georgia? Could their offense bother Georgia?
No.
We thought that in coming into this one. And Tennessee's offense
it's Georgia.
But you saw what happened yesterday, the top 10 teams. If you were in the top 10, it was not. You may as well not even play. You should have stayed home. Because the top 25 is not going to look not even close to what, Kentucky fell plumb out of both polls today. But, I mean, there's going to be so much scrambling around, moving, and there's, I'm convinced when LSU takes Alabama, it almost beats them. When LSU shouldn't be on the same field with Alabama. Well, you like that. But, I mean, it's crazy to say that yesterday, you look at all the upsets. South Carolina destroying Florida.
Bye, Dan Mullen. Bye, Dan Mullen.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I swear I do. And if they
Has to.
keep him around after what they've done this year, that means they just don't. I don't know. That was embarrassing last night.
Yep.
It looked like Florida has melded in. It looks like Florida don't even want to go to a bowl game. Were they five? Are they 5-4?
I think so.
Here's what would be even worse. They got, I don't know their last two conference games. They got Florida State at Florida State in the state, the Thanksgiving weekend thing. You lose to your arch rival in your state, you know you ain't gonna be around after that.
I'm trying to pull up Florida's schedule because I know I have it right here.
They have. I think they got. I want to say Arkansas and not Arkansas.
Speaking of upsets, Arkansas.
It does.
So they go Samford at Mizzou, Florida State. So they've only got one conference game left.
I was thinking Stanford, but that's not a conference game. So they should beat Stanford, but I don't know. You can't beat South Carolina. Who says you're going to beat Stanford?
Yep.
And then Florida State, you don't never know what'll happen in that game.
No.
And then what was the other conference? Mizzou. Is that at Mizzou?
Yes.
Oh, well, they'll get Mizzou's good at home. So
Mizzou is so good at home.
So
That's what we talk about that on my podcast every week. Mizzou is so good at home.
How come I'm not been on your podcast?
We don't do a ton of guests. It's just me and my dad.
It's a family thing. You're gonna have to get that podcast out to more people.
I would love to.
You would have to branch it out. We're gonna try to help you branch out get you some recognition.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk some high school football. We've done took enough Kentucky. Made it blue. Get it? Kentucky blue? Okay.
Yep.
I thought I might get a laugh out of that, but I didn't. Okay. As you would figure, I don't think, let me look before I say this. I don't think we had two. No, we had one. One road team out of 6, 9, 12, 14. Out of 22 games, and one road team win. So the home team won every game, but Rockcastle County was the only team to win on the road. Well, no, was that game at Rockcastle?
Who was it against?
Garrett County.
It was at Rockcastle.
Okay, so I didn't take that back. So no road team won a game this weekend. All right? Hazard won, Middlesboro won, Letcher won, they's all home. Corbin won, they's home. Southwestern won, they's home. Pikeville was home. John Central was home. Bell was home. Pulaski County was home. Lawrence County was home. Paintsville home. Pineville was home. Breathitt County's home. Danville was home because they played Somerset. Martin County. Yeah, not one road team won a game. Has that ever happened?
There's no way, but I'm not at all surprised. I'm not even a little bit
usually
surprised.
Think you would have one upset. One.
Yeah.
You get one road team winning.
Well, that's how we all came in here on Friday night. We were all like, well, everyone who was supposed to win won. Everyone won on their turf.
Yeah. And then you come to this week. The first game we're going to look at is, first of all, what's your game of the week?
I don't think we know yet.
We don't know. She's getting confirmation. Don't know yet. Okay.
Yeah, we still work those things out, especially in the postseason.
Okay. Well, let's start with Hazard at Pikeville. Now, you weren't here last year when Hazard pulled the big upset.
No, but I know all about it.
You know all about it. You've seen the video, and I know that's going to be I know that the Pikeville coaching staff is going to sit there, make their players watch every bit of that game over.
Make them watch it like this.
Over. And say, guys, do you want this again to happen to you? And even Coach, I've talked to Coach Howard. He's fully aware that he knows Pikeville will be ready to go. But I think Hazard is just as good as Pikeville if they can score in the red zone. That's been the one problem the Big Blue Hazard had. They can't score on the end zone. The red zone's been their problem. Yeah.
That's a
And
really
if you
big
can't
hit.
score in the red zone, it's going to be very tough for you.
Mhm.
Okay, but that's a nice game. So,
Oh yeah. I really like that game. I am gonna have my eye on that one.
Yeah. I think the Rockcastle County Bell County game is going to be a good game. I really do. I think this year earlier was a 20-0 Bell, but I think Rockcastle, when these two get together, throw the records out the door because you don't know exactly what you're going to get from those two teams.
Mm-hmm. I really like Bell County this year. I think I've only gotten to see them play in person once, but I really like Bell County this year and what they've been able to do.
Then let's see, you got Rock and Bell, Hazard, Pike, Corbin at that win 55-0.
Yep.
Well, I don't know what that win, but I'm just giving you numbers because I'm just going to say Southwestern. I think it'll be a closer game this time, but I think Southwestern still wins.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson
Southwestern
Central
is just stupid this year.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. Johnson Central, I think the other night when they got off to such a slow start against Clay County, it took them about 2 quarters and a half to get going, and they realized, we need to play, and then they just ran Clay County plumb out of the building. So when I saw that score,
which is what happened the last time they played Clay County.
Yeah, they ran them out of the building early. Do you think the Breathitt County Middlesboro game will be better this time?
Yes.
I do too. I don't think it'll be high scoring either. It was 60.
No.
I'm thinking it was like 63-38 or something like that the last time. I don't even think that they combined for 90-some points. Let's see, 90-some points. I don't think the two teams will combine for at least 60. I'm looking for a game of between 30 and 20. What do you think?
Agree with that. Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I also, like I was saying about Bell County, let's go right down the road. I really like Middlesboro this year. I really like what they've been able to pull off, and they're one of our only undefeated teams.
You know what's crazy is that you got Middlesboro, you got Pineville, and you got Bell County, all in the same county, all still in the playoffs.
Yep.
I don't think it's ever happened.
Yep.
There's not too many teams in the same county with them, but that's just crazy. You got 2 of them playing home games, the other one on the road. They should have beat Williamsburg the first time, but then here's what I think was good for the other night against Pineville. I think Pineville I know they struggled to beat Harlan, but sometimes that makes your opponent think, well, they can't beat Harlan. We'll beat their brains in.
Yep.
And maybe Pineville will think Coach Chappell, and he's a very smart man.
Yes.
I
really
Williamsburg
like
right
Coach
where
Chappell.
I want them. I didn't want to beat Harlan 50-0. I mean, he did, but I'm just using it as a full.
So we all.
Yeah, because I mean, Williamsburg felt like probably the first time that them two teams played about 2 weeks ago, 21-14. Oh wow, I can't let Pineville hang around. They'll beat us.
Mm-hmm.
Which Williamsburg, Pineville, if they're on the game defensively, they can play with anybody they want.
Exactly.
And man, this is a stat that I think I'm right, but I could be wrong. The team that has won the first game in the regular season has went on to lose the playoff game the last 6 years. That's in the Paintsville Raceland. If Raceland's won the first game, Paintsville will end up winning.
Raceland have to play again. Oh, and it's at Raceland.
Yeah. But we saw Paintsville go up to Raceland a couple years ago. Young team. Jericho's second year. Raceland had that hoss of a team, and they beat Raceland.
Yeah.
17-9 or something like that. And they ended up the next week, they got beat. That was the game they played Williamsburg. No, not Williamsburg. They played the home game. It was game of the week. I remember the game. Then they ended up getting beat, but they didn't make a step. It was that year. But it just seems like the team that wins the regular season matchup lately has not won the playoff matchup. I don't think, because if Paintsville wins the regular season, Raceland wins the playoff. If Raceland wins the regular season, Paintsville wins the playoff. So Raceland won the regular season matchup.
I was there.
So you were there. So that tells you maybe Paintsville could pull the upset
I
and
wouldn't be
keep that streak
surprised.
going.
I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
that would be crazy.
I
That would be
think
wild.
Trevor Hoskins is going to be dangerous in like 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah, no question about it. He's got to keep going.
Yep.
Let's see. Statewide, I was talking with Brian before I lost him, and then he ended up not feeling well and everything. Couple of games out in the state are pretty good. Lexington Catholic against Boyle County. They played a really good game the first time around. And then you got Mike Holcomb making another deep playoff run with his Madison Central Indians as they get set to play Bryan Station, the defending regional champs. But I know we don't look. I look all over the area because that's how the show's built. But was there any games out in the state that caught your eye?
Well, my alma mater won their first game of the playoffs, Dunbar, and they'll face Tate's Creek at Dunbar.
Okay. Well, it had it listed on there as Dunbar traveling to Tate's Creek, but it is Dunbar hosting, right?
I have the KHSA I pulled up, and that's what it said.
Well, you would know that. So, I think Dunbar is at Tate's Creek. So, okay. Yeah.
Dunbar was just so bad when I was in high school.
Oh,
My freshman year of college, they went defeated. And so to watch them have this success is really nice.
Defeated. I ain't never heard that before. That's funny. That's different. After this week, we're only going to have very few mountain teams left. We're going to have the RPI start playing their game next week. Yeah. I know everybody's thinking the possibility of Johnson Central and Corbin getting together for the game. Me and Camille talked about it last week. If the game happens, it's going to be the game of the 10 centuries, the game of 10.
My God, that game makes me so nervous.
First of all, if you was going to go to that game, that would be something you would have to get there 4 hours early to even get a parking place, even to get a seat. There'll probably be so many people there.
Whenever I'm in Corbin, they park me. If I'm in the news vehicle, they're like, "Oh, Courtney, go right there." So hopefully it's at Corbin.
So you have I wish I could get that treatment.
It's because of the fancy car. It's not me.
But I mean, I'm thinking if Corbin takes care of business this week, Johnson Central takes care of their business, would that game be in the regional final, or would that be in the state semifinal?
I can tell you. It would be.
I was thinking regional final.
It would be regional final, yes.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Wow.
No. I know.
Okay. So we will not know. You guys will be, I know you'll text me in our group when you'll find out the game of the week. So, because I always like to announce it when I do my picks.
Yeah.
So you'll let me know about that. Okay. Let's go over a couple of things. And since I've only got 8 minutes of the show, would you like to finish the show with me?
Sure.
Yeah, I just got 8 minutes, so I don't want to have to, I've had all kinds of problems. I was going over the WYMT Mountain Basketball Classic when you came on. I was going over the games. What was your thoughts about the bracket? There it is.
I haven't gotten to look at it much, honestly.
Yeah.
This doesn't answer your question, but I'm just really excited. When I took this job,
I think this is the best field, boys and girls.
Mountain Classic, and I think it's going to be so much fun.
Well, this is your first one. It'll be John's first one. And it'll be Camille's fifth one, or fourth one? Fourth or fifth one for her.
Third.
Third? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd give her more credit. I thought she's been around a long time. I like having her around, so I was giving her more credit what she was needing.
I like having her around too.
But this is the best field I've ever seen put together.
I would
for
agree.
Boys and girls. You don't have a weak link team in none of those teams.
No.
And the matchups, especially on the boys' side. I mean, Shelby Valley could beat Knox Central. They could.
Yeah.
But then turn around, Knox Central could blow out Shelby Valley by 30.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with John Noble's Breathitt County Bobcats. They can probably beat they'll beat Johnson Central. But Johnson Central easily can beat them. Harlan, I just had Coach Cal on here tonight talking about how the Green Dragons, how he was excited about getting the 2 C's, excited about his team. And, but Harlan can beat anybody given. But Knox County on their home floor, tough as nails. And then the last game, Paintsville and Prairie Central's got everybody back from last year. And if they've improved any, then this should be a pretty decent game. And on the girls' side, I don't think North is an overwhelming favorite, but I do think if everybody's wanting Shelby Valley, North Laurel to meet, and I understand
want Shelby Valley, North Laurel to meet.
Yeah, but I'm a little biased because if you'll notice, my Leslie County Lady Eagles are over there.
Who I got to meet this week and loved.
Did you love my girls? Did you?
Yes.
What did you think about my girls?
They were sweet. They had a girl. Her name was Courtney, and she goes, "Your name is Courtney. My name is Courtney."
Courtney Hoskins. Yes, Courtney Hoskins is one of the best players in this region. You're going to
get
to know
me on Instagram, and I was like,
you're going to get to know her very well. This is a good basketball. This is going to be a very good basketball team.
Yeah, and I really like.
They have everybody back. Like, we did lose one girl, but and it's going to hurt us a little bit to replace her. But we got speed, quickness at all positions. We got a good young team. Got some young players people don't know about. When you got a veteran coach in Larry Sparks, who's been around for a long time, and the staff, of Cheryl Lewis and Cheryl's daughter Hillary, the coaching staff it makes it go. I know you watch it. I don't know how they're always well behaved and they always do things right. They do it the Leslie County way. And I know you enjoyed them a lot when they were there.
They were so great to talk to. I was telling them, because I got here at the end of baseball, softball season, I hadn't gotten to meet a ton of girls yet. And so having the girls come in, I'm like, yes. Because I've just been talking to football boys the last however long I've been here.
That's one thing that you learn real quick. Our girls, they like to attach themselves to other people. They like to meet and greet new people. So So they're one of a kind, and I wouldn't. They're awesome. You get to see our boys pretty soon too.
I don't know when they're coming.
I think Coach Rice is going to be over in a couple of weeks, and Coach Rice has got a team that's going to be
week tomorrow.
Yep, don't count them out. They're going to be. I mean, we don't have a lot of veteran experience. We got one starter back from last year. We have very little depth, but don't count us out because we got some kids that play hard. And Coach Rice is a great coach, and he'll get a lot out of them as well. Let's go over. Let's see. I think I've got over everything. Oh, I want to ask you, what do you think? What's your thoughts about Belfry boys
basketball?
Yes.
All I know about that team is that I've met their very tall boy, and I had never met a 7-foot person before. I had never met a 7-footer before. I mean, I'm 5'8", okay, so I'm not like super short, but I had never met a 7-footer before, and I was literally just like,
wait a minute. This is okay.
That's all I know.
Okay, this is you. Okay, this is you. I'm you. Okay,
yes.
They're 7 foot, way up here. So this is how you had to.
Yep. And then there's Camille, who is exactly 2 feet shorter than the kid. But that's all I know about that team as of now. I'm learning as we do the round balls previews, and so I'm getting it.
Yeah. Well, Belfry's a team you need to keep your eye on. I know that everybody's talking about Paintsville and Johnson Central, Show Valley, and Pikeville over there. Better watch out for this Belfry team. This Belfry team is loaded. They've got the 7-footer. They've got a guard. I don't know if he's eligible yet or not, but he comes from Maitland, West Virginia. Supposed to be one of the top, like a 4-star guard. He come there during the winter during football season when it first started. I don't think he's eligible yet, but they'll probably get status on him pretty soon. Mm-hmm. But with what they had coming back, and they're playing in the King of the Bluegrass. If you've ever played in the King of the Bluegrass tournament, that's one of the most prestigious tournaments in the state of Kentucky to be invited to. If you get invited to this Fifth Third in Lexington Catholic or the King of the Bluegrass in Louisville, I mean, a lot of people like your team and wants to put them wants to give them a showcase and show them off. So that's a lot of fun there. Okay, you have any other thoughts you want to think? But you got to. I'll let you give me some final comments here. Let me go ahead and give me my final comments. We'll go ahead and we'll get out of here. I want to thank everybody that was on the show tonight. I want to thank Coach Cal. I want to thank Coach Thompson. I want to thank Freddie Maggard, and I want to thank Courtney. I'm going to let Courtney give her some final thoughts because she's gracious enough to hang in there for me. Poor old Brian Milam had a head cold tonight, hung in there as long as he could.
He and I were both in the press room last night waiting for Stoops to come out. He and I both were just like,
yeah.
If that game had gone any longer, I don't know what we would have done. But
Brian looked really tired. He hung in there as long as he could. And but as I was saying earlier, I'll have to write Brian a note, and check on him, make sure he's okay, and bring him back later. But I want to thank him for being a trooper. I mean, he was trying his best to hang in there, but I understand when you got a head cold, it's hard to keep your head up. It's hard to do things. So I think he was a trooper for trying. What about everybody? I'll be back with you Wednesday night for my picks show, the district championship edition of the Week 11 picks for CJ High School Football Report. We'll pick Week 12 games, and we'll have some rankings and other stuff. I'll be back with you Sunday night for episode number 15 of the CJ Howard Show. Well, my co-host is supposed to be John Bentley, the head basketball coach at Montgomery County. Hopefully have him on. I'm also continue one of my guests is going to be on the show. Shannon Hoskins is going to be with us. Prairie Central head basketball coach is going to be with me. And I'm not for sure who's going to be with me next week, whether you guys have been doing a really great job.
It'll be one of us.
Yeah. Well, I love our group chat.
Yes, it's very helpful.
Well, I'm very honored to put that together. I think that's helped us out a lot because, so I know it's helped me out a tremendous ton because I know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys get an opportunity, go to my Facebook page, give me a like there. Go to my YouTube page and give me a subscribe. I would love for you to go do that, and that would help me out. Well, Courtney, would you like to give any final comments before we end the show?
I think I'd have more to say if Kentucky had done anything yesterday.
Yeah.
But
what other thing? What about Tuesday night? What do you think about Kentucky Duke?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. When I was in college, I was kind of out of touch with Kentucky football, just with kind of the revolving door of kids and all of that. But now that I'm in it again, I am ready to be in it, and I'm excited.
Well, you're going to learn one thing about the Duke-Kentucky rivalry. If it's anything like it's been in the past, this game is going to be a really good one.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me your final comments, and we'll get out of here.
That's about all I got. I'm loving playoffs season so far. It's been really fun. I don't know where I'm at this week, but I honestly don't care because every game I've been to has been a blast. And like I was saying, when I was in high school, my football team was not great. And to get to watch these college caliber kids play every Friday night is really cool.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Courtney, I want to thank you for hanging in there with me to help me finish the show. I know you got better things to do and spend time with me, but I appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
We will do it soon again.
Yep.
When I end the live telecast, don't leave me yet. I want to say something off the air to you.
Okay.
Again, I want to remind everybody, I'll be back with you Wednesday night for the CJ's Football Report and Sunday night for episode number 15 of the CJ Harris Show. As I do every show, this is CJ Harris running third and heading for home. Good night, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday night for the CJ Sports Report.